I'm very curious about you guys. I know when you and I came in contact some months ago, it was so you could get more value from your ISO certified system, and thankfully I think we've been able to do that for us. We're thrilled about that. But more importantly, as far as your company goes, can what would people want to know about you? What areas are you guys trying to grow into?
Well, I came into the business because I really wanted to see some remote places around the Northern Territory, and NT-Link has a very unique position in some quite remote, incredible areas in the NT. We do a lot of Indigenous work for communities and really remote mine and construction camps. So that was a real draw card for me. Yeah, so we do everything from designing, we manufacture in-house, we transport and install transportable buildings. So yeah, we do a lot of remote Indigenous accommodation, and more down to more temporary buildings for construction and mining. The first thing that I realised coming into the business was that they'd really gone with a just keep the accreditation going sort of approach. I don't think they had no one in my seat that really sort of owned it. There was a high turnover. I don't think there was a really good level of understanding in what ISO is or brings. And so that was the first sort of opportunity for improvement that I saw in the business, was that if we did a really deep, thorough audit, we could really flush out some deeper underlying issues. So that was really one of my first recommendations to the business. And one of the reasons that we went with Southpac was that approach, that exact approach, that remote audits aren't the norm. On-site audits were the standard, and that was really something that I was looking for the business. I think they were a little bit frightened of that, but there was a level of education around, it's not about what we find, it's about how we deal with what we find, and it was, educating them on that. And they've really seen benefit from that approach already, that, if we just deal with it and look at it, we can really make great improvements in the business.
Yeah, I'm glad you touched on that, Crystal, because you're right. Sometimes I will talk to people, going about on my daily activities, and they're a little bit fearful. They think, well, things are running well, the status quo is good. Maybe we don't want anyone looking too deeply at what we're doing. And the fact is that, I think that's a credit to you, really, in your job position, that you think, hey, you know what, it's not wrong for someone to see what we're doing, and not just keep auditing remotely as sometimes providers will do. They could give us some good feedback. Maybe there's something that they'll find that we need to know about, instead of finding out when things go badly one day.
And I think that's a real key takeaway, is that if the system's broken, from an audit finding, it means it's broken for the business. It means that there's it needs improving and tightening. And so for us now, we've gone through sort of rapid expansion over the last few years, and the business is really transformed. And for us now, it's about really making our systems robust. We've had to sort of break and adapt the system a few times to grow with the business. And now that the business is really stabilised at the size that it's at, it's really about embedding those into the business. That's really our focus now. Well, we really love working on some big, interesting projects. That's really, what gets us excited. So we've just started doing a lot of work they've been doing a lot of work in mining for a while, but a lot bigger camps now, and we're moving into permanent mine camps, which is really exciting for the team. And, we're just a really robust, fabulous option for the NT. Like, normally to get a business like us, you need to go to the East Coast or the southern states, but we're really leaps and bounds above what other businesses you can find in the NT. So that's really what makes NT-Link unique.